slowly warming up the garden. Cat has found her usual place beside me, and dog snuffles in her blanket after trotting outside to inspect the dew on the grass. A noisy bird was chirping loudly before sunrise, a perfect alarm. But now all is still, and it's time to choose another old book from the pile on the dresser. This small hardcover is a kind of wine or burgundy color that is so common in old books, with gold lettering on the spine. It is small, and yet the writing in this book and the author's presence cause it to rise head and shoulders above most old books or books in general. It is a giant among stories, due in part to the writer's style and also the memorable characters. Here we go, Chapter 1, Paragraph 1, the story begins. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, we were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received for good or for evil in the superlative degree of comparison only. There were a king with a large jaw and a queen with a plain face on the throne of England. There were a king with a large jaw and a queen with a fair face on the throne of France. In both countries, it was clearer than crystal to the lords of the state, preserves of loaves and fishes, that things in general were settled forever. It was the year of our Lord, 1775. Spiritual revelations were conceded to England at that favoured period as at this. Mrs. Southcote had recently attained her 25th blessed birthday, of whom a prophetic private in the Life Guards had heralded the sublime appearance by announcing that arrangements were made for the swallowing up of London and Westminster. Even the Cock Lane ghost had been laid only a round dozen of years after rapping out its messages, as the spirits of this very year past, supernaturally deficient in originality, rapped out theirs. Mere messages in the earthly order of events had lately come to the English crown and people from a congress of British subjects in America, which, strange to relate, have proved more important to the human race than any communications yet received through any of the chickens of the Cock Lane brood. I'm sure that you recognize the story from the beginning lines. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens contrasts the cities of London and Paris at the time of the French Revolution. The first book of this novel is called Recalled to Life. The book I'm reading from was published in 1953 by Collins and has an introduction by Sidney Dark. As this worthy gentleman states, Dickens knew that if you would find heroes, you must search among the failures, among the despised, among the simple sinning rut of men. And that is such a hopeful sentiment. Join me next time for another lucky dip into old books, where anything is possible and the characters are always surprising.